Good morning, everyone, and here we are with a little prep stream. You have to excuse me while I'm eating and drinking. But we've got a game in about an hour, and I need to get my prep done. I thought I'd turn this into a little module one. We've got a good little group. Sometimes it's nice to just have that little bit of prep done, just a little bit. So today we're going to be converting the module from the Cobalt Press called the Room with 5 Corners. So I think without much further ado, you can just go and get straight into it. So as we transition across to the screen of doom, so on this screen you guys can see just over there, you can see my little book. This is my little one-shot book where I make notes when I make notes. And today we're going to be running, you sort of see on the top right, I'm using this to reference the Room with 5 Corners. So there we go. And over here we've got the Roll20. So let's find a blank page, preferably the next blank page, because I am somewhat not neutral about that. And we're going to call this the Room with 5 Corners. And now, whenever I'm writing one-shots, I like to do the following thing. Basically, I start with my intro. And I use the clock on my computer, so I know that we're going live at 3 PM UK time, BST, which is 10 AM EST. So, let's again, so that is going to be 3 PM. I'd like my first encounter to occur at 3:15 PM. I find 15 minutes is enough time to get through everyone talking about, you know, who they are and what their character is going to be. There's going to be enough time for me to set the scene as well. Encounter 2, 3:45. We'll give each encounter half an hour. We usually can get through about 5 encounters. I learned this method from a Matt Colville video years ago. I recommend checking him out. He's a great content creator. It's very worth checking out his methods. 4:45, and then encounter 5 takes you up to 5:15, which means our wrap up occurs at 5:45, and that's just my way of making sure I'm staying on time through the one shot. So welcome, good morning, you guys. I can see Prax in here. Good morning, Archmage Derek, Fimbrius. Am I saying that right? Maybe you could spell that out phonetically for me. I think it's Fimbrius. Fimbrius. Maybe Scottish there. Fimbrius. Today. Anyway. So that's really a good place there. So what I used to do is I used to write out all the player names across this side. I used to write all the player names, and whenever they got nat 20 or anything, I'd keep it here. But what I actually do these days is I use the actual OBS interface. I've made it more interactive, so I put the nat 20s and nat 1s on there now. So I don't really need to do that anymore. So I think we just get straight into it. So This Room with 5 Corners, it starts, it's true, I used to run with the Untamed, back when the Owl was the leader. I don't associate with them now, though, not after what I saw. I've got a stomach for all manner of things, wherever it was I spied through the back door of that hideout. A room with a wall changing shape, like a puzzle putting itself together. Filled me with a kind of fear I ain't known before or since. I can't say what dark thing the Untamed are up to, but there ain't one of them casts a shadow no more. Not that you'd see him out in the sun anyway. So okay, so like it seems like a local gang have been I can just call you Time. Oh, and Technomedic as well. Good morning, how are you all? I have the advantage of having a breakfast. Yes, well I'm still working on the whole breakfast thing. I'm getting there. I'll try not to flagrantly throw it in your faces. Oh. The fast is still being broken. Okay. So we can hear Nilchil in chat. He's like rolling his stats and stuff, so he's getting his character prepped as well, which is lovely. The other guy, looks like they're using real life character sheets, which, as you guys will know, I love it. Okay, so the Untamed are a street gang in a busy city. A recent change in the leadership has transformed the members from pickpockets and second-story thieves into kidnappers. They're an interdimensional aberration named Zilriok. Saying that several times just to get used to it, saying it in my mouth, because I don't want to be sitting there in stream going Zilriok. Let's make a note of Zilriok. XLRIEH apostrophe ok. Zilriok. Their hideout is now a strange and wicked factory capable of extracting a firm essence from the person. The process leaves a victim partly ethereal and therefore no longer casts a shadow. Although most victims die during the procedure, those who survive are conscripted into the gang. The extracted essence is created and shipped to Aberration's home plane for a breach between the worlds in the hideout's back room. Nice. So, Adventure Element A, the Curse. The gang members are all survivors of the strange extraction rituals. As such, they are afflicted with a curse condition with the following effects. They have resistance to non-magical weapons, they have stealth rolls, weakness to fire, and disadvantage on all rolls made in direct sunlight. So, I wonder, this is a level 6 campaign, so we don't have to go for anyone too low. Do we have Fug or something like that in the compendium? It would help if I was searching the compendium rather than the character sheets. Fug, how powerful are you? We have got a CR a half, so we'd have to have quite a few of them to make that a challenge, I feel. Let's see what else we've got. So I know we've got Guards Week. We've got Gang. No, I don't want a doppelganger. Oh, we could. Maybe Fug will be alright. A modified Fug might work quite well. So we'll take the Fug. We'll throw the Fug in. There we go. Just delete that so no one can see it. I want them to think I'm doing prep. That would scare the shit out of them. So we'll go to the character sheet. Let's change things around. So we're going to call this the Untamed. One of the gang members. Armor class 11. We'll leave that where it is. We'll leave all those stats where they are. I'm pretty happy with those actually. We'll just add these things. So let's see. They have. Hello. There we go. Resistance to slashing. Oh no, not soulshing. Oh yeah, maybe technomatic. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the adventure elements first, see what the module recommends, see how full my encounters are, and then I'll spice it. And all of this is just, you know, every plan is only good until the first arrow flies. What we did last time I did this, I prepared a whole 5 encounters, and you know what? We only actually used 3 of them because the group wanted to explore more things. And I am very, very casual in my DMing in that I prefer sandbox to railroad. So you know what? I'm going to create all of this, but if at the end of the day they decide not to go and look at it even, then fair enough, I guess. You know, it's one of them things, isn't it? So they get +5 to stealth. Let's put that in there. They have a weakness to fire. Very interesting. Fire. And disadvantage on all rolls made in sunlight. Wait. There should be an N in there. I can type. Not early. That's only affects humanoid gang members. Disadvantage all rolls. Wow. It's a hell of a disadvantage. Okay, so that we want him to have a mason stuff. Yeah, that'd be all right. A mason, a heavy crossbow. That seems like the sort of things a thug would carry. That's fine. So we'll leave that as that is. That's the Untamed. Done. Donezied. Let's see how we're doing for time. We've got about half an hour, so I'm going to rush through this now. Adventure element B, Symbols of Zul'Ryok. 3 symbols drawn in reference to Zul'Ryok maintain portals to his realm and cause various effects upon the viewer. After a PC has been affected by a symbol or makes a successful saving throw against it, the PC becomes immune to that particular symbol. If all 3 symbols are destroyed, the portal in the back room closes. Destroying a symbol requires a DC 13 intelligence check, though this text suggests places where the symbols are located. You are free to distribute them as you see fit. Oh, awesome. So we have a fear symbol. We have anguish. And we have madness. Let's see. Witnesses to the symbol must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw to avoid being frightened for an hour. Fine. Witnesses to the symbol must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or take 2d8 psychic damage. Nice. Successful saving throw halves the damage. Witnesses to this symbol must succeed on a DC 12 Constitution saving throw or become blinded and stunned for a minute. Cool. Yeah, potentially. You know, we'll see. Let's see what the thing says first. So first of all, we have the alley. Okay, so first of all, we need to go through our characters. So I know the characters. I know we've got Ed, Skyra, we've got Tony, and we have got Jade Oxford Rose, who I'm new to, but we had a lot of fun messing with her yesterday on the Natural Ruckus channel. It was good fun playing a villain over there, actually. I really turned it up a notch, and I think I gave them a hell of a roller coaster ride, so hopefully today I'll be much nicer. So I know that Skyra's character is a folk hero. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we start in a bar, somewhere in our hometown. I'll ask her to describe where we are, and we're basically we're gonna have someone approaching Skyra wherever they decide that. Actually, no, not even in a bar. Why would I even railroad that much? We'll let Skyra decide where they are, where they all meet up. She knows the town, so you know, maybe they're all setting up to come and see. I know Ed's playing a bard, so maybe they're all coming to see Ed set up. Who knows? So what we'll do is we'll say someone approaches Skyra. Someone official. Maybe we can go for a not a mayor, but some sort of courtier of the mayor or something like that. Some sort of clerk. A clerk. Clerk approaches Skyra's character's name is Fern. Yep, it's 1 hour, Ed. I'll start the Zoom chat up in half an hour. You probably shouldn't see this, though, because I'm preparing your one-shot. So a clerk approaches Fern, as she is a folk hero. And as she is a folk hero, he's going to tell her about the gang, the Untamed gang. Let's see, they used to just... Let's say they're an organized gang. Let's say they used to run protection and stuff, and like as long as you... Well, I got nervous. You're fine, Ed. You're fine. Gonna eat. Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. Enjoy your meal. So let's say the Untamed. Let's say they used to be really organized. Let's say they used to do not protection rackets, but they used to do subscription-based services. So you could pay them a yearly fee and avoid getting robbed. I always love that one. That's heavily borrowed from Terry Pratchett's Thieves Guild. Sub-based protection. Let's just get some more of this food in me. Now, kidnapping. They only ever used to be thieving. Yeah, just thievery. Maybe occasionally rough someone up a little bit. Maybe some racketeering, yeah. Now they've moved on to kidnapping and maybe murder. Because these people don't reappear. So unconfirmed murder. It's getting serious. So the clerk wants Fern to sort it out. And that's our first intro there.
I feel that the clerk is a wheedling man with a nose, sort of nasal quality to his voice. Now, I believe you are Fern the folk hero. Sorted out that monster way back there, thanks to your orcish heritage, I believe.
Which will trigger Fern a little bit because she just wants to live a normal life. But he's going to come to her, of all the people. So I think once they've done this, it's going to be I imagine the first encounter in the first half an hour is going to be party interaction. I'm going to leave this mainly up to them. I'll let them form themselves together. You know, I'm not going to squish them together, but at the same time, if no one's hopping up to go and help out, then I will, I'll have old men and young children trying to help out. Like, I'll go and stop the gangs, I can do it. And that usually gets most party members moving. If they need paying, maybe I'll figure out some sort of reward. But they should be able to get together and get going to go and sort out this gang business here. And the clerk will tell them that they are down the alley. The alley. What should we call the alley? The alley. The alley is known as the Alley of Doom. No. Something alley. Perhaps Turnabout Alley. Yeah, we'll go for Turnabout Alley. I like that. Oh, my music's run out. Which is handy, because now we're going to a new location. We can find some music for that location, so we want an alleyway. See you in a bit, baby. Alleyway. Perhaps in the shadows looks strong. Very industrial. Oh, that doesn't sound very shadowy. Give it time, maybe it warms up to it. Nope. Definitely not. Sorry for the volume, by the way, of these sounds. But it's difficult. You can't adjust the play sound. It always just comes out at max volume, which is annoying. Let's see. The Slaughter Docks we've already got. That's a nice tavern-y sounding thing if we have a tavern. An alleyway. Frozen Ways. Maybe City in the City, maybe. Very windy for an alleyway. Very windy. And a lot of vehicles driving around down there. Temple of the Eye. Now, temples, I see them as quiet places. This could possibly work for a ritualistic alleyway. That's also very fiery. We could put some rain on them in the alley, but I don't really see that. Dome City Centre, maybe. Victorian London's always a strong one. No. Yeah, we'll put that one in as a sort of like a, maybe. I'm gonna go Goblin Cave. Warehouse 13, I've got a feeling there's another modern one. Yeah, you can hear the buzz of electricity and stuff. Nope. Yeah, there goes a lamp. Not ideal. Medieval town, maybe? Yeah, not so much. Too busy. Terror, now that sounds interesting. work, actually. I want it to be kind of, you know... Oh, yeah, when we see that first symbol, we'll use terror. Monster attack, not so much. District Alpha, Abandoned Fair, no. Nightmare, what's that all about? Sewers, not so much. Oh, that sounds like boss level stuff to me, if we find a boss or something. Dark City, what are you? Too musical already. Although actually, it's not a bad little piece. Bit noir-esque though. How long we got? About another 25 minutes, okay. Okay, I'm not gonna get too caught up in that. I think we've got a couple of good ones there. So we've got Victorian London. That's gonna be good. And what we can do is we can add things on top of that. But first, let's get our modules down. Right, we'll add some music in a minute. So, refuse and rubble obscure the entry to this dark alleyway. Stepping over an open sewer channel, you'll find yourself standing in a passage between several warehouses. Several things scuttled between broken crates and general filth. 3 gang members and a hired doorman, who are unaffected by the curse, are hidden in the alley, and they attempt to attack the PCs by surprise. The Untamed have a secret entry to their hideout well. Finding the door requires a DC 12 Wisdom Perception check. Scrawled on the door is the symbol Fear. Whoever finds the door, whoever is nearby when it's found, are subject to the symbol's effects. So we'll put on there doorway Fear. I'm going to use this first combat. I'm just going to put free. I think I'll just put free thugs in, okay? And this first combat is just going to be feeling out the characters. Let's see how quickly they take out free thugs, because I quite find that when you're streaming 5e, the combat can just take too long. You know, it just takes too long. So we'll just put free in, and if it takes too long, you know what, I might even get one of them to run to the door and run inside. Otherwise, you know, I'm just gonna try and keep things moving. I don't like the combat to overtake the entire one shot, if you know what I mean. So turn you down just a little bit. You're actually quite a little bit intrusive. Area 2, the warehouse. A maze of crates fills the warehouse, rising up to the bare wood rafters. The crates vary in size, and each display an enigmatic brand. Pale violet light emanates from the unseen sources. A small footpath winds its way among the stacked cargo. Okay. The warehouse proper is currently unoccupied. Most of the crates are empty. In the midst of the crate labyrinth is the Untamed extraction table. Ooh, okay, so let's see. If they take half an hour to get through there, then we're in the warehouse. We've got the extraction table. A long wooden table with leather strap restraints is bathed in the violet light of several candle stands. Knives in dark scabbards lay on its surface, and a peculiar bird mark is found repeated near the collar restraint at one end. On the floor are 2 crates showing evidence of being recently sealed. A parchment is crudely nailed to the side of the table. It hangs down apron-like from the table's edge. The parchment is a set of instructions for removing the essence of a mortal. It is written in an unknown tongue. Looking too closely at the parchment triggers the symbol anguish. I feel like there might be 2 encounters here. We'll see. Well, I'll read through, I think, before I get too deep into it. Once looks at the view, those are affected. An Arcana DC 14 check reveals the diagram is a ritual object describing a surgical technique of sorts. Opening the crate requires a DC 12 strength. Inside the crate is a harmless white powder. The view through the doorway into the back room portrays a... Area 3, the room with 5 corners. The view through the doorway into the back room portrays a dizzying spectacle of nightmare. Beyond the threshold is a plain chamber. reached along one wall by a geometric impossibility. A fifth corner has appeared there, and yet the shape of the room remains square. Space and time argue in this place, and a precipitation of dread hangs in the air. Pale figures ask crates into the anomalous corner. Unseen hands receive the grim cargo. Two gang members, scouts, are passing crates to an unseen party through the extramental portal. Gang leader Emmett, there you go, oversees the transaction. So we do have a gang leader. Got any tutorials on Roll20 Jukebox? Can't seem to get it to work. Well, DJ Knight, it's something I could do in the future. Right now I'm running against the clock. I've got about 20 minutes until I need to get this prep done. So we're going live at 3. But it's something I could do in the future. The jukebox, you just add tracks and press play. The only thing I can say is make sure that your sound is on. Make sure that you're on this screen. You can see in my settings, you've got this slider here. Make sure that is on, and that'll be why all the music's so loud. Hehe. There you go. Yeah, that's the only thing I can recommend right now. So let's have a look. We've got a priest. So we have Emmett, gang leader Emmett, who is a priest according to this place. So just a priest. Oh, and we do have a priest. Yeah, he's not the strongest, but you know, that should be fine. Gang leader Emmett, when disturbed, the members take half cover position behind crates near the portal. Two grells lurk in the rafters and attempt to float down behind the party once combat starts. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Spicy. That's a spicy meatball. So, let's get our priest in. Like I say, as always, just get rid of that, just in case anyone was looking. And when we look at his character sheet, we've got Divine Eminence and all that sort of stuff. I think all we need to do with him is change him to Gang Leader Emmett. And maybe we can have him named. Maybe I'll have that clerk at the beginning. Maybe I'll have that clerk at the beginning when he's speaking to the party. Maybe I'll get him to have like a ruffian with him who has quit the gang. Nah, it's no good. It was alright when it was just thieving, but I'm not into kidnapping young kids and people and having them put through torture. That's not my game. No, that's not my game at all. That sort of thing. Okay, and grells as well. That'll be fun. Grell. Be in the SRD. You're not in the SRD. Okay, well, what are you similar to? Grell 5e. Grell sort of looks like a mind flayer sort of thing, doesn't it? Some sort of, or maybe Silk Strider style. Tentacled beak creature. Okay. You know what? I might just leave this open in the background. We'll just have that there. I'll put it there. Maybe. Okay, that's in. I can't do that because that's not in the same thing. Oh no. Oh, how hideous. I'll put it in the background. That'll be fine. So let's just go back and find that. There we go. I'll have some grells as well. I like the idea of having grells. So the floor here displays the symbol Madness. PCs fighting near the portal trigger its effect. Shortly after the girls descend, the PCs see the outline of a humanoid stepping through the portal into the room. As it arrives, its shape transforms into a gibbering malva. They're throwing all sorts of things into this room. This is truly the combat room. Oh, and we do have the gibbering malva. Beautiful. There we go, and that's a bit stronger. Okay, I was worried there wasn't going to be any meat. As much as I don't like the fight to be... as much as I don't like the fight to dominate a 3-hour one-shot, I also wouldn't like it to seem too easy. Hey, Griffolian, welcome. Okay, so that's looking pretty good there. Now, when they defeat the gang... for a street gang, the hideout is suspiciously devoid of stolen goods. Emmett carries an impossibly complex navigation tool made from a gold set with several perfect diamonds. Okay. Okay, so I think we can... Okay, so this is going to be the back room with 5 corners. I have a feeling. Emmett 2 times Thug 2 times Rel And then number 515, I think we'll have the Gibbering Malva appear. But I don't want that to take too much of that time, actually. So maybe I'll bring that a little bit early into there, because I'd like them to have half an hour to figure out what the hell went on. That would be my ideal. Emmett carries an impossible complex navigation tool. A DC 12 intelligence check suggests it's aligned to a 5th cardinal point. That's very open, isn't it? Awesome. Conclusion. Did the party close the strange portal in the back room? What horrible place does it lead them to if travelled through? What of the white powder in the crates? How long does Zilre Ok hold a grudge? And how is his anger manifested? Okay. So I'll leave that last half an hour open for them to try and figure out what's going on. Maybe they try and head through the portal. Maybe they figure out some way or another that they need to destroy the symbols. Maybe they do. Either way, I'm going to leave this open, I think. That 5th cardinal point sounds interesting. I'll put that down here. Emmett. Navigation tool. And since he's a priest, I've got a feeling that he speaks with that sonorous voice of a priest or leader, and just expects himself to be obeyed, or at least respected, perhaps. Navigation tool. 5 cardinal point? Say cardinal point? Yeah, cardinal point. Now, will they learn anything about Zilriok throughout this thing? Maybe he'll say it at some point, by Zilriok's beard, or something like that. Take out these ruffians, maybe. Yeah, it seems legit. So now, I think the last thing we need to do is sort out some music. I like to set the tone. So, first things first. Let's get on to, there's some ones that I know, that I just know I'm going to want. When we're building tension, and it sounds like there's going to be tension in this one, I like my long notes. This one's a shock. Love that one. Long note 3, high suspense. Long note 2, another good one. And long note 1, mild. That's the one I use most often, actually, because you can just leave that one playing in the background and people hardly ever notice. Great. Then what I also would like to do is have the very low note as well. Because the very low note is just one long low note. And you can layer that up with a couple of others. So that if you've got a break between two, there's no break. It just keeps going nice low notes. And you know, these things bring the strings along. So I quite often will have that going and that going at the same time. And it just adds a bit of tension. People almost can't hear over the sounds of the city, but you can feel it. It's nice. Very nice. Okay, but then let's have some other things. So we're going to be in a tavern at first, aren't we? We've got the tavern sounds up here. They're fine. There's a bit of string in there as everything. I don't need to put any music on that. Maybe I need to get some music for the alleyway. Let's go for Computech, which is where you can find. Use strange. Oh, in Computech. In Computech, this is where you can find Ken McLeod's stuff, guys. In fact, I'm going to put this in chat now. On this page, there is a donate button. If you enjoy the music that I use in my one-shots, consider donating to both in Computech and Tabletop Audio. They are really, really a godsend for most people who do this sort of streaming, podcasting, any of that sort of stuff. There's a lot of good content there. Now, what sort of feels do we want? Perhaps something aggressive, I like that. Maybe something a little bit eerie and something dark. That sounds great. So we've got unlight, it suggests. Oh! Okay. That is almost certainly when the gibbering Malva comes through, I believe. So let's just go find that. What was it called? Unlight. Yeah, Unlight. We'll just rename that. Gibbering Malva. And I have a feeling that will layer up with... Didn't we have Nightmare as well? Was it Terror? I can hear that layering up though, actually. Yeah, I know, right? We'll leave that playing for a second. Let's just see if this is as good as I thought it was. No, so the other one it suggests is Stone World Battle. Nah, not feeling that at all. So let's get rid of the aggressive and go for more intense, somber maybe. Oh, we've got one with a 4. Okay, so let's try Private Reflection. I'm thinking possibly when they first meet the prince, the priest, Emmett. Actually, when they find the extraction table, this could be good for when they find the extraction table, actually. I think we'll go for when they find the extraction table on that one. And that one was called, what was that one called? It was called Private Reflection. There we go. Put that one in there. I'll call that one Extraction Table. Holy sounding. And if, like me, guys, I should point something out. If, like me, you like to display this window when you're streaming, okay? But you don't want everyone on stream to go and see all your music and everything. You don't want them to see your notes when you're doing this, because, you know, if you do a Windows capture of the screen, just does that. Here's a top tip. You double-click the chat icon, you can pop out the chat window. So you can flick through everything else just fine, and no one on stream can see what you're doing. You can still just see the chat window. That is a hot tip right there. All yours. You're welcome. Schmetterling, which I understand is German for butterfly. So I don't want to lean too heavily on the whole holy thing. He's very much described as a gang leader with a priest's stats rather than an actual priest, so I don't want to go too far into that. That's a hell of a butterfly. Got that right. Krankenhaus, Krankenwagen. Mein Kopf tut weh. I have a headache. Just doesn't feel right, that one. Just doesn't feel right. Schmetterling sounds like it would be good for Strahd, though. Die Schmetterling fliegt in der Luft. The butterfly explodes. Or the butterfly fliegt durch die Luft. The butterfly floats on the breeze. Very close sentences. Very close. One is floats on the breeze, the other one is explodes. One of my favourite things about the German language. I mean, that's sort of mysterious. Let's try taking something off. Let's try taking off eerie and going more mystical, maybe. Well, it only gets one. Lasting Hope. That's the one I'm just listening to. Okay. So let's take off mystical and go for unnerving. That could work. Final Count. Private Reflection we've already got. What about Final Count? What's that like? That does not sound suspenseful. That sounds like everything's dropping. Oh no, I went for unnerving, didn't I? Too much. Too much. My sister-in-law is a teacher, and so swearing in front of students is frowned upon, so uses innocent German words, which sound like swear words. Yep. Cello! Although it lists it as violas and violins here, it doesn't actually list a cello being used. Viola. Sounds like a cello though. I'm just not sure about the brass movement in there. I think the brass is a bit too... I suppose, you know what though, that could be an early one. That could be maybe for In the Alleyway. When they're in the alleyway. Actually, yeah, Ignosi. Let's try that. Let's go for a bit of Ignosi. And this is how I always do it. I used to try and like scroll through all of the music in this thing, and I'd be like, oh, God, I've been scrolling for ages and I'm still in the A's. Actually going to their website and just turning it around by fields helps you find the things you want a lot quicker. Lands in Motion, let's listen to that. But what I'm also thinking is we can layer up Final Fantasy VII. Just enter the boss fight. It's close. Yeah, it could be. Close, but anyway, we're not going to be using that. But what I'm thinking is maybe at the beginning, we're in the alleyway, we'll get rid of Nightmare, we'll have Terror layered up with a bit of Ignosi. Terror, you playing? And you can be a bit louder than that. Maybe Terror is more for the warehouse, actually. Maybe in the alleyway we have Victorian London with a bit of Ignosi. And you know what? We'll throw in a very low note as well. There it is, that cello just coming in. Excellent, so that's that. And then once we get out of there, we go into the warehouse, and suddenly we have the terror sounds. We should keep the very low notes going, and possibly long note 1 or long note 3, because they're very suspenseful. Then, once we get through there, we find the extraction table, which I'm sure I named that extraction table. with that terror laid up on it as well. We'll keep that very low note going as well. There it is. And then you can just mix all these things together to make these epic scenes. Now we enter the... okay, they've explored the extraction chamber. Now they get to see in through the next room. They see the white powder being passed through. Maybe this will be my chance to use the big thing where I go, you can see the corner of the room. The corner of the room. Nah, probably not. But we'll switch to Nightmare at this point, I think. We'll turn Terror down, switch to Nightmare as we go into there. And then we are going to want... oh, we could use some battle music, actually. We could use a little bit of battle music. Not battle music, but something... do I maybe go back to Ignosi? Is that too jolly? Will it give him a bit of hope? I hear that trumpet that I wasn't sure about earlier, that brass interlude that could work well. Is that little bit of hope in amongst the nightmaring, maybe? And then, of course, whilst this is all going on, they are fighting, and then the gibbering Malva appears. Yep. Oh, and it's got that brass as well in there as well, so we've even got a bit of commonality between the two. We've got the brass in there, the brass in there. Hey Dharma, welcome buddy. We're about to wrap up very soon. I need to go and get started for the next stream, but there we go. But you've got that brass in there as well, which keeps that hope up, like, you know. Yeah, okay, awesome. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use those. Perhaps not all necessarily in the same order, but I will use all of those. And then in the last half an hour, I'll just give them time. Maybe I'll just return to just a very low note or something. Maybe I'll just give them that and that. Just give them time to figure out what's going on. Well, we are going live in about half an hour, Hidama, with a one-shot. This one-shot right now that I'm prepping right now. We'll be going live with that. So, there you go. Who knows? They might want to get the hell out of here and head back to the pub. We'll see. You know, like I say, these are all just plans that you lay, and, you know, plans are only good until the first sword is drawn. So... could be that it doesn't happen that way at all. Okay, here we've got Nilchul over there again doing some stuff. He's got some quarterstaff in there. He's enjoying himself, he's having a good time. Yeah, so we've got some NPCs. We've got the Clerk, approaches Fern. We've got Clerk plus Vagabond. We've got our timings. We've got the party interaction, getting to the alleyway. We've got the warehouse or the extraction table. We've got the back room. We've got the gibbering Malva, and some time to figure things out. Now, hopefully, if the party interaction works a bit quicker than we expected, that's just fine. Because I've got a feeling that some of these are going to take a little bit longer. We may even end up dropping some. If it seems like Emmett and the two thugs and the two grells are going to keep people tied up, then we might drop the gibbering Malva altogether, and I might drop that music earlier, the gibbering Malva music. Or maybe I'll make the descending grells just a Malva there, maybe. Maybe I'll just skip the grells and bring the Malva out. Not sure. Not sure. We'll see how we do for time. Anyway. Thank you all for joining me as I prep this little one-shot. It should be a lot of fun. I'm going to go and head across now and go and start getting things ready. So I will... Should I do a little mini-raid? Should I do a little mini-raid? Not on this screen, I won't. I'm going to switch back to cam only, otherwise you'll see all of the things that I do. I don't want you to see all of those. There we go, I'll switch back over here. Okay, you can see anyway, because it's really slow. You can see I was supporting Ruby Plays in the background there. I love those Dead by Daylight people when they play. Let's see. Why don't we go and pay a little bit of support over to InWills? Looks like he's playing some Elder Scrolls Online. And he's part of the community. There's not really many people online right now at all, to be honest. So we'll go and give InWills that little bit of support. It's it's Saturday morning. It's early. We're all, it's, every little helps. That's not a valid username. He only has one L in his name, Adam. Come on, you should know this by now. InWills. Okay, so guys, like I say, we're going to be live again in about half an hour. So we'll hopefully see you then. Hey, Baelord. We're going to be live in half an hour. We're going to be playing this one shot that we have prepped. I'll see you guys very soon. It's 2 PM your time. I've only just gone up. Keep evoking motions, you guys. We'll see you very, very soon.